Let us start today's meditation with a deep intention to use that next 30 minutes to discover our true nature, to still the mind, and to absorb that reality, that peace, that joy within. So, in our mind, let us make a deep intention to use this time wisely. And then we can take a few deep breaths. The deep inhalation, feel that your body is being energized. And with an exhalation, expel out all negativity, all restlessness. And feel that as you inhale and as you exhale, you're finding that inner poise and balance. So today's meditation and contemplation session, we'll try to make it a bit more experiential, a bit more direct, wherein we start with our own body. We try to observe the reality of our own body and to discover that essence, that substratum that sustains the body. So we can gently scan the whole body, starting with the crown of the head, and try to see whatever physical sensations you're experiencing with an acceptance, with an attitude of neutrality. If you experience any good sensations, positive sensations, that's fine. Any negative sensation, painful sensation, then just become aware and move on to the next body part. From the top of the head to the forehead, the eyes, ears, and so on. Just being aware without any sense of attachment or aversion. Samatvam yoga uchyate, Gita says. An attitude of equanimity is yoga. So at your own pace, just become aware of the whole body, all the way from the head to the left feet, the bottom of the feet. Go through that sensation one by one, body part. And as you become aware, you can also see that some points you don't experience any sensation, or that sense of neutral sensation. But yet, as we observe closely every body part, there is that energy coursing through the whole body, the subtle energy which remains neutral. So try to also become aware of that. Certain areas of the body where you experience pain, or certain areas of the body where you experience some pleasant sensation. Right behind that is the energy, the subtle energy, which is neutral, which by itself doesn't have any aversion or attraction. Especially in the area behind the spine area, in that spine area where we don't seem to have any kind of physical sensation, there is a constant coursing of that energy, the neutral energy, flowing all through the body. From there, dispersing out everywhere. This energy that flows through is constantly there, like a vibration. We can also sense it like a vibration in the body. So, this constant presence of this vibration in all parts of the body, which some traditions call it as spandana, pulsation, vibration. It's of subtle nature, it's not of gross physical nature. We try to ignore this as we are constantly seeking positive experiences. We don't abide with this. We even want to make that energy into something else. Try to change that subtle vibration, neutral sensation into something pleasurable. So, this is the constant activity and occupation of the mind, that it wants to experience something else, something higher. Yet, when we meditate or when we contemplate with the wisdom, we realize that this spandana, this vibration, is nothing but that constant humming of I amness, that awareness. The essential awareness of our being manifests as energy of subtle neutral nature. So when we have the wisdom, we can look at this with a different perspective, and we can learn to stay with it without wanting to tamper it, change it. In that essential vibration of our being, which is coursing all through our body and mind, is that supreme peace, that supreme joy, which is beyond that is known or experienced by the mind. So once again, try to course through, scan through the body, and try to not just feel, but also listen, but also kind of recognize this essential vibration, I amness, beingness. Any thoughts come, any kind of mental activity happens, you can also note that essential knowingness of that. All thoughts, all feelings and emotions start with this basic knowingness, the sense of I amness. So when we recognize this pure knowingness, then we notice that even the thoughts lose their intensity or their ability to take us outward. Continue to notice this basic sense of energy or vibration, as much, whatever way you can relate to it. It's the most experiential way because we are constantly experiencing our body. But yet we take our body to be real. Our sense of identification remains constantly at the level of the body alone. This Ramana Maharshi talks about this as aham spuranam, that sense of I, that sprouting forth, or that constant manifesting of that aham. In one of the Upadesha Saram, he says that ahaminashabaj, aham taya, spurati hrutsayam paranam purnasa, that when that sense of wrong ego identification with that body and mind drops, there is a natural vibration of or rising of I kind of feeling or awareness. And this is the spuranam, he says, a kind of sprouting, a recognition that this is there all the time. This is happening everywhere in the body, mind. So try to just also observe in your thoughts, just as how we scan the body, we can scan our thoughts as they arise. From where do they arise? And what is their true essence? And you notice that this I amness, the sense of beingness, is the basis on which all our thoughts, emotions are rising and falling. And the best experience of this can be called as basic sense of knowingness, sense of knowing that before we even label the thoughts as good or bad, as something you like or dislike, there is the basic sense of knowingness which is neutral, which is equanimous. So the more we can recognize that, the more we can stay with that, the less we caught up in the stories we tell ourselves. Some people call this as being in the present or being in the zone. More importantly, it is that I amness, constant sense of I amness. We are so habituated to taking this I amness as I am the body or I am this personality, because we have not yet understood that essence of what the Vedanta teachings tell us as Aham Brahmasmi, or I am that divine, or I am that supreme consciousness. This I amness, which I experience mostly at a personal level, is that one universal I amness. So, whatever works for us, either at the level of observing as a knowingness in the mind or intellect, or at that physical level, try to feel this subtle basic energy which is always vibrating, not has a physical motion, but has a gentle throb of beingness. When we look at this with wisdom, when we try to know this with that understanding of what the Mahavakyas tell us, we realize that this is the only true essence of not just us, of the whole world, of everything. All that we see as names and forms are but appearances on this one pure essential consciousness. So, whether we are feeling good in the mind or we are experiencing some challenges in the body, as much as possible, when we are able to divert or bring our attention to this basic beingness, this basic throb of sensation, which is first known as just a neutral sensation, an equanimous, even minded knowingness. When we realize that there is that true essence is not changed or affected by any of our experiences. Take the last couple of minutes to just feel a sense of joy and a sense of recognition that this simple thing which is right within us is the way to all that really our heart seeks. So it's nowhere to go, nothing else to do, but to more and more try to be with this, try to be with this and discover this. In the few moments of our daily life, whenever we can pause, whenever we can recognize, initially it takes a little bit of retraining of the mind, but then just like all our other habits, this is the one positive habit that leads to our own divine nature. But we can say a closing prayer. Om Hasatoma Sadkamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste.